Alright guys, let's continue on with the Omen franchise and talk about Omen 3, or just the final conflict, which is what it was released as. It didn't even have Omen in the title whenever it came out in 1981. It was just released under the title The Final Conflict, which was interesting. Because at least the second one said Damien Omen 2. This one was released just as The Final Conflict, but it did something like the Star Wars original trilogy did, where like they changed the name later. So this one, the Omen 3, The Final Conflict, is the final film for Damien in the original franchise, where we have the three-story arc where like the first movie is him as a little kid, then the second is him as a teenager, realizing what he is and what his destiny is, and then in the third movie, after realizing at the end of 2 what he is, he has completely become so powerful that he is going to take over. And through a form of law too, or through the government. Like, I like the fact that he is running to be higher up in the government, where he is going to find everything he can to gain as much power as he can in the world. And I think that's really cool. But these priests are coming back that have been throughout the first 2 movies that still want to kill Damien because of the second coming that's going to happen apparently in this time. So I really do like the story of the movie, and I like Sam Neill a lot as Damien. Sam Neill, before he became big, I don't remember seeing him in anything in the 80s. Like, I think Jurassic Park was maybe the first thing I saw him in that was big. Unless I'm thinking of, maybe Memoirs of an Invisible Man came out before that. I can't remember, but I know that one of those 2 movies is the first one year-wise that I've seen him in besides this. And Sam Neill is interesting in this movie because he does a good job of playing Damien. Even though he's a little bit over the top at times, I think that he does have a really good performance as Damien. He's just a little over the top, but that's totally fine. I think that it works in this context of the movie anyways. Now, I like this one as much as the first one, I'd say. The second one, I'd say, if I had to rank these 3 so far, it would be like the second one would be my least favorite, then the third one, then the first one. And I will do a ranking on all 5 of the Omen movies later, but this, so far with the rankings, this one is my second favorite out of watching the first 3 again. It's very interesting. I like the story. I like Sam Neill a lot, but the movie is just, like the first 2, it drags in a way where it's not very interesting. Like, I actually got really bored watching this one. And I hate to say that. I hate to use the term boring in a movie because it's such a subjective thing with pacing and with if anything's happening on screen. But to me, this one just really didn't work for me. Like, I thought, like, I mean, the story worked for me. The story and Sam Neill worked for me, but the pacing didn't work for me. And I hate being that kind of person saying, the pacing didn't work, but it didn't work for me. So I really did like the story, but it was just, I thought it was too long, in my opinion. Like, I felt like it could have been cut, like, a little bit. There did not have to be an hour and 50 minutes worth of the movie. Like, I felt like there were moments where it was just kind of dragging on too long. And again, like the first 2, it's about these other side characters that are trying to get Damien, and in their untimely deaths with, like, the Rottweiler this time, as opposed to the Crow from the first one. The Rottweiler returns in this one, since he was absent in 2. Now, again, I've knocked out all the big things. I like Sam Neill a lot. I like the story a lot. I thought the movie was still boring, though. But I really, really loved the ending. The ending, to me, sells this movie, despite having some slow moments in this movie, which isn't a giant complaint, but it does, like, it doesn't work sometimes for me with the pacing in the movie for some reason. But the ending I really loved. It ends with a way that I did not expect. Damien is thwarted. He is killed. He is killed by one of the 7 knives that the priest had. And he is literally killed, and God reigns supreme, and, like, good reigns over evil. And I just thought that was such an interesting and fascinating way to end it, because I didn't expect the movie to end that way. I expected it to become, he's going to gain everything. He is going to take over. He is going to kill all these priests that are chasing him and trying to kill him. And no, they kill him. And it made a perfect ending, honestly, for this trilogy, because the whole first 3 movies are about this horrifying thing, about this son of Satan who is going to take over. And then in the end, he doesn't. I really like that. I think that's awesome. And I really felt like it completed the story. So I really loved the ending. I thought the ending was such a great climactic ending. I really loved the final, how final it felt. It felt so final that we didn't need another sequel. And good thing we didn't get another Omen sequel after Omen 3. Right? Right? I know, I'm just kidding. I've seen Omen 4 before. But yeah, Omen 3 is just, it's boring, but it's got a lot of things I love. I love Sam Neill, I love the story, I love the ending, but it's just not fully, as a whole, something that fascinates me throughout. Like, I get kind of bored. But despite that, this is still an awesome movie, and it's a really fantastic into a trilogy. And I'm going to say trilogy again, because even though I'm going to talk about Omen 4 next, this is a trilogy, because Omen 4 sucks. So, let's end this review, and next Omen movie review next week will be Omen 4 The Awakening, the TV movie that is one of the most pointless sequels ever made. So I'm going to say it right there. So that's my review on Omen 3 The Final Conflict. If you like this video, check out my content down below in the description, and tell me what you guys think of Omen 3. Do you love this movie? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What do you think about it? I want to know everybody's thoughts, and thank you guys so much for watching.